Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Jess and this is going to be a reading vlog. So if you're new here, hi, hello, this might be the first video you're seeing. If you're not new here, it has been a hot minute since we have videoed anything, honestly. Life has been super chaotic. Sorry for that. I apologize. I haven't really had time to read anything over the past couple years as much as I was. But I have since graduated school, so I am done with that. I have moved into a house, so I have my library space, which I am currently sitting in. I'm so excited for that. And I am ready to get back into doing this. So this will be the first video of hopefully many, and we'll just go ahead and get started with it. So this week's reading vlog, I am not really doing what I used to do where I'm planning TBRs out ahead of time. I kind of just pick a book from my jar as I go, as I finish them. So I don't have any like pre-planned books aside from the two that I'm already reading. The first of which I should be able to finish this week. I'm almost done with it, honestly. And that is going to be Passenger by Alexandra Bracken. So this, I am honestly almost done with it. I am on page 375 and there's only about 490 pages, almost 500. So I'm right there close to the end. Should, like I said, have no problem finishing this week. This is one of her YA books. It's the first in a duology, and it follows this girl named Etta, who is an accomplished violin player who's about to go on her debut. And when she goes up to perform for the first time in front of hundreds of people, she hears these like strange loud noises, and she goes to investigate, and she gets pushed through a portal and taken back to the 1700s. So the magic system in here obviously is we have travelers, which Etta now figures out she is one of these travelers, and there are only so many families that can travel, and they travel through these portals that are in different locations that take you back to different years. And then with these families, there's a history there, so there's been multiple families and there's been fights between them, and now there's this one family that kind of rules everything with like their head patriarch in charge of everything and everyone, and he is after Etta's mom. And so she gets thrown into this portal and then thrown into their world that she didn't even know existed, and she has to go complete this quest in order to save her mom and get back to the time that she knows. And then we also follow Nicholas, who is a former slave who is also a traveler from the 1700s, and he kind of gets thrown in with Etta on this quest, and there may or may not be some kind of little romance, you know, there always is. But yeah, it's really interesting. I really like it. I will say it is flying. Like, I'm reading this so fast. I started this like 2 days ago, and I haven't had much time to sit down and read it, but in the little time I've had, I've read almost 400 pages. So it definitely is a fast read. It's giving what it's supposed to give. It's not exceptional by any means, but I do always enjoy Alexandra Bracken's writing style. And she definitely is doing a very good job of like painting the different time periods every time they change very well, painting the scene correctly and everything like that. I will say the only thing I have with this book so far is that sometimes it does have that curse of being a little too easy. So like, I feel like because they're trying to fit so much story and so many jumps in this little bit of pages, that every time they jump, they might spend only a couple hours in each place. But there's always something bad that possibly happens to them in each place. And it's always like, because they're trying to get through it so fast, it just seems way too easy to like solve those problems, I guess, if that makes sense. But it's a little nitpicky. So I'm still think this is a very good book so far, and I'm excited to continue reading it. And then the only other book that I am planning right now to read this week, like I said, I'll pick another one once I finish that one. But for right now, the only other book I'm currently reading is my Brandon Sanderson huge chunk of a book. And that is going to be Rhythm of War. So this is the 4th book in the Stormlight Archives, which follows a huge cast of characters. It's in the Cosmere, which is the world made by Brandon Sanderson that has all the different stories. This is only my 4th Sanderson book. I did start with the Stormlight Archives. I started with them years ago now, and I've been slowly reading this one for about a year now. I'm only on page 600. Don't get me wrong, I love it. That is not the reason I'm reading it so slow. It's just, it's a chunker, and it's a super high martial fantasy, and so it's a lot, but I do read it slowly. I actually read it on my Nook instead of carrying this brick around with me. So this is the book that I read like on breaks at work and stuff. So I will get a little bit of this read this week, probably not a huge chunk. I'm more than likely not going to finish it by any means, but I do want to try to get a nice chunk of this read this week. So this is on here as well. For the sake of it being the 4th book in the series, I will not explain the plot to you. I will give you my feelings throughout if I do read a significant chunk of it. But if you do not know what Sanderson is, what the Cosmere is, what the Stormlight Archives are, and you are a fantasy person, I highly recommend you go check out this book. But yeah, that's the 2nd book for this week. So aside from that, I don't have any major plans this week. It will just be a home reading week vlog. But I will hopefully be finishing that 1st book, reading a little bit of Sanderson, and then we'll see what book comes up next. If it's one that I think I can finish, hopefully I'll finish another one too. I am severely behind on my Goodreads goal that I set for myself. I think I set it for 39 books this year, and I've only read like 19 for the entire year. So I am a little behind. Your girl's failing a little bit, but we're going to get there. We're going to catch up. So the goal for this week is 2, if not 3 books. So we will keep that in mind, and we will see where we end up. But yeah, I'm so happy you're here. Welcome to this week's reading vlog, and I will see you in the next clip. Hey guys, what's up? So it is a couple of days later, but I have some good news. I have finished Passenger by Alexandra Bracken. This book was a lot more than I expected it was going to be. I thought I wasn't going to enjoy it that much. I thought it was just going to be something that I was reading just because it was on my shelf. But I actually really liked it. I liked the premise. I liked the idea of it. I think she executed it very well. Like I said in my earlier video, the only thing I really think was wrong with it was just the, I heard somebody describe it as plot convenience the other day, and that really makes sense. It is just a plot convenience. Like, everything just seemed way too easy for what it could have been. But I also understand that we were trying to get through a lot of locations and a lot of story in a very short amount of time. So I get why she did it. It was just a little frustrating at times. But overall, I really liked the story. I loved the way she built each and every setting individually, and it felt so realistic no matter what timeline we were in. And then also, I loved it. And then if you just saw the door open, we don't have a ghost. That was the dog, who's now going to start squeaking his ball, which I will go take from him in just a second. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. I will say, there's a twist at the end. I would have finished this sooner, but I will not lie to you. I got to the second to last chapter, and this is probably a little bit of a spoiler, so if you're interested in reading this series, please skip past this part. But the second to last chapter ends with like a major, like, oh my god, what the fuck is going on? And something happens, and it pissed me off. So it made me so mad that I had to put this book down, and then I didn't want to pick it back up, like, at all. Even though I only had one chapter left, which was like 10 pages. I was like, no, I'm done. I don't even want to read the story anymore now that that's happened. Like, I'm not interested in it. Like, get it away from me, basically. But for the sake of finishing it, I finished it, and there ends up being a twist that just made that whole situation just go away, and it was like, what the heck is going on? Another one of those plot conveniences. I get why that twist happened afterwards, because that allows there to be that second book, which I have right up there on my shelf, that I haven't read yet, obviously. I get why the twist happened, because it allows there to be that second book, but still, like, she just ripped my heart out and tore it to 1,000 pieces, and then somehow like patched it back together. But yeah, interesting. I really really enjoyed it. I think I'm gonna give it like somewhere in between a 3.5 and a 4 star, just because again that plot convenience is really annoying the whole time. Like it made it feel like, oh my god, like this is not, there's not as high a stakes as we think there's gonna be. You know what I mean? Like it's this is a book that relies very heavily on the fear of the main characters getting their quests done in a time for a deadline to be able to do it. And it seems like there's not a lot of stuff that seems difficult enough to where you are like in fear for them meeting this deadline. Like it's like, because everything's happening so conveniently, you just feel the whole time like, they're gonna make it. There's no way they don't make it. So because of that, I am gonna have to knock it down to like a 3.5 stars, just because I didn't feel the same fear that they felt, I guess is the best way that I could describe it. But overall, really enjoyable book. I definitely think you should pick this up if you like these types of books. I think this would be a great YA novel for like any middle schooler. But yeah, Passenger by Alexandra Bracken, 3.5, first read of the vlog, done. Okay, so since we finished our first book, our next step is to pick our second book of the vlog. So I have my handy dandy little TBR jar here, which is from Owl Crate, I believe. Yeah, Owl Crate's on the bottom. But it's a jar that has like all the different like quartz from ACOTAR, and I love it. I think it's beautiful. And then it has the night court on the top. It's so cute, so cute. But yeah, I use this. I have all my little book. I have all my books in here, and then I'm just gonna draw because I like to kind of spread out my hardbacks and my paperbacks because I'm weird like that. So because that was a paperback, I am gonna just keep drawing until I draw a hardcover book. But I have my TBR jar, and then I have my TBR shelf right over here. So we are ready to find out what our next book is. Sorry, the light just went crazy because of the wood, but I'm going to draw and then we will figure it out. Oh, the cats have decided to join us. If you hear their little bells, that's the cats. I'm so sorry. So the first book I have drawn is going to be The Love Hypothesis, and I believe that actually is a hardcover, so that is probably going to be the book we go with. Let me go find it just to make sure. And it is a hardcover, so this will be our next book of this vlog. So this is The Love Hypothesis by Hazelwood. I don't really know much about this book. I did get it for a book of the month back in 2021, so it has been on my shelves for a very long time. I know a lot of romance readers, including my little sister, actually love Hazelwood's books. She has several, I believe, in this series that are just various romances. This one, I know it centers around the female right here, and she does work in a lab. Other than that, I don't really remember what the main trope is in it. I don't really want to read the summary because I don't really want to get spoiled. I kind of just want to go into this one blind. So I am going to take this. I'm going to go get started on it, and after I read probably about 50 pages or so, I will come back to you and I will talk to you about what it seems to be about. But yeah, this will be our second read of the vlog. First read is done, which I don't remember where we started, but I want to say it's about 250 pages out of that book for this vlog, so not too shabby. I've also, while I have you here, I did read 2 or 3 chapters of Rhythm of War by Brandon Sanderson the other day while you were in the car going somewhere. And I love that book. I love that whole series. I love Brandon Sanderson. There's not really much I can say about it plot-wise without spoiling the whole series. But there's some crazy crap going down. And if you know that book, if you've read it, you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, I'm really enjoying that one as well, just for the sake of saying it on the vlog because I put it in the intro. But yeah, enjoying that one. Finished the first book. Going to start this one now. I will see you guys in a little bit. Hey guys, what's up? It is the next day and I am actually in an airport.
and I'm actually in an airport parking garage right now. But I thought I'd come in and update you. I ended up having a funeral to go to today, so did that, and I just dropped my little sisters off at the airport, got them on their plane, and now I have about an hour drive back home. So I have been listening to the audiobook for The Love Hypothesis all day. I did not bring the physical book with me, so I don't know what page I'm at, but I can tell you I've made it all the way to chapter 7 listening to it, and I'm really enjoying it. I definitely do know the trope now. It is a fake dating romance. At first, I thought it was going to be maybe like Hate to Love, but nope, definitely without a doubt, fake dating. So basically, we are following this girl named Olive, okay? And she is a PhD student, and her best friend ends up having a crush on her ex-boyfriend, and Olive is fine with them dating, but in order to her best friend to think that Olive is over him so that she'll actually take a chance and go out with him, Olive has to convince her that she's moved on. And so when her best friend comes around the corner in the lab, Olive just grabs the first guy that's right next to her that she sees that's walking down the hallway and kisses him. And it turns out that that is Dr. Carlson, who is notoriously an asshole and is a professor in the lab that is really mean to students and everything, and is supposed to be this bad guy. And then because she kisses him, it starts them kind of talking, and then they're like, oh my gosh, now we have to pretend like we're dating, because he has his own motives. On top of Olive's motives, he has his own motives for wanting them to fake date. And so they just embark on this fake dating relationship, and that's where we are. It's not spectacular by any means. It's very much still just a fake dating book. I haven't really found anything yet that really stands out in it. But for fake dating and for what it is, I am really enjoying it right now. I think it's very much a fun book. It's a fun read so far, and I'm hoping it stays that way. But yeah, I have about, like I said, an hour left of driving to do today, so we're going to see how much more I can listen to. And then I probably won't read when I get home, just because I haven't seen my partner or my dogs all day. So I'm going to just hang out with them tonight and cook dinner and stuff like that. But I will get some more reading done tomorrow, and we will see where we end up tomorrow, because tomorrow will be the last day officially of this vlog. It'll be a full week after tomorrow, so we'll see if we can finish it tomorrow. Hopefully, maybe. We'll cross our fingers, we'll try. But yeah, I just thought I'd pop in, update you guys. I'm going to get back on the road, but yeah, see you later. Hey guys, welcome back to the vlog. We are here to wrap it up today, so let's get into what we ended up finishing. First off, we read Passenger, Alexandra Bracken. Loved this book. I ended up giving it, I think, a 3-star, 3.5 stars. It was really good for what it is. It is a YA. I probably would have given it higher stars if it was a little bit older, but for what it was supposed to be, it definitely gave what it was supposed to give. I decided to join the vlog. But yeah, overall, really enjoyed this book. I think it would be great for a middle schooler. Loved it. I am going to be reading the second book in this series at some point, so we'll be continuing with this. But yeah, overall, solid book. And then this one came out to 110 pages. And then after that, we picked up The Love Hypothesis by Hazelwood. So I did end up reading this about halfway through as an actual book, and then I read probably about a third of it on audio while I was driving around. I had some stuff to do this week, but I did love this book. It did come out to be a 5-star. I absolutely adored it. It was a fake dating trope, but it was beautiful. It was also a dark sunshine romance. So he was very moody, and she was very happy, very excited, loving life, very much a romantic, and he was not. And it was great. I loved all the vibes. I loved their banter. I loved all the different friends that came in here, all the drama, the protectiveness, especially at the end. He got so protective, and it was just, oh my gosh, it was so great. It was so great. I will say, I have heard that this is a book for smut, and I really don't think it is. There's one chapter in here where it gets pretty, you know, pretty frisky. But other than that, it really isn't. It's really more about the romance and about them going through their lives, because, of course, the entire time it's fake dating. So the entire time they're not
really dating, and they're both trying to like ignore the fact that they have feelings for each other and just trying to get what they want out of this fake dating scenario to happen in their real lives. So it's very much more about that than it is their actual like being together, I guess, if that makes sense, enough for it to have been very smutty. But there is a point in here where it is, but it's definitely not the overarching theme like some romance books have been recently. But yeah, I really enjoyed this. This was 350 pages, so I think that brings our total right now up to 460 because I read 110 a passenger, so 460 as of this. And then finally, we did not finish this one, of course, obviously, but I did manage to read about 60 pages of Rhythm of War. It was about 6 chapters worth of it, and really, really liking this one as we go along in the Cosmere and Brandon Sanderson's world in this series. This is the last one in the Stormlight Archives series, which is this one of the Cosmere, and then I have other Cosmere books to read as well. But yeah, this is exciting. We are 60 more pages in. We're making our way through it. We finally hit about the halfway mark. And I am loving it as usual and excited to carry on. So overall, that brings our total to 520 pages for this vlog. I am super proud of that number. And yeah, we had some fun things happen this vlog. I did go book shopping. I will be bringing you a haul soon. Waiting for that so I can make it into a separate video. But yeah, overall, I say that was a great reading week, and I'm excited to see you guys in the next vlog where hopefully we can hit the 500 page goal again and make it work. But yeah, I will see you guys in another video. Bye.